Oh, got another one.
Yeah. Very good morning to the panel of judges and all my friends. Here we are the CoreDump team, and we are presenting our app Android Us. So the teammates are okay.
Sorry.
The teammates are Bhavya, me, Chua Yuhan, Rohit, and Uday. So okay, what's the inspiration of our app? What is it that we use most frequently at the university? So the first thing is we want to access IVLE workflow, web links, forums, and timetables. And we want to keep track of IVLE or LVLE events at NUS. And we want to have booking of facilities, of sport facilities, and we want to check the career center for talks, walk-in interviews, and find my way around NUS, SMS a lot of friends at the same time. Okay, we want to set reminders and organize all our activities to keep track of the registrations. And for each of these, I need to access NUS website. And it is a tedious process to do all these things at the same time. So what we have is that what if my mobile does everything for me? So now I'll pass on to Bhavya to present our app.
Hi, welcome. We have developed an app that is called as Android Us. So this is an app that is created for all NUS students, created by NUS students. So it is useful because we are able to do a lot of things in a very easy and convenient manner. This is a screenshot of our app. So as you can see that we have paid a little bit of attention for the UI as well. The top title shows that we have the app name. For any user who logs in, who has a valid login, the welcome screen with the name is displayed. We have an app for the workspace, for the news, events, NUS Career Center, facilities booking, NUS Connect, Navigator, and contacts. We will go through these one by one. Firstly, I would like to take you through IVLE Workspace. Here, IVLE Workspace. Before that, we will just look at some of the specifications that we have kept in mind when we have developed this app. There was a requirement that was posted that we have to make our app running for Android app 1.6 with a minimal Google level of 4. So we have kept that in mind. We have implemented about 15 to 20 learning API implementations. We have also done the fetching of the data from the API, and also we have implemented some post facilities. We have used generic voice recognition and parsing, that is the phone platform. We have made use of XMPP protocol for instant messaging. Then we have used Google Maps API for location-based facilities as well. Now, moving on to IVLE Workspace. Here in the IVLE Workspace, when we log in, you can see the initial screen where you get all the modules that you have registered for. Our UI is designed such that when you select any module, the various facilities corresponding to that module, the various announcements, the work bins, and the forum, all these come up. So he's showing a demo where we have the initial login screen where with your NUS user ID and password you can log in. This is a workspace, and this is a workspace. So I will continue in the web links that we have. Yeah, please. Yeah, so these are all the modules that have been assigned to us. We'll select the module CoreDump 1. Here you can see that we have 4 tabs where we have the announcements. We have only a brief overview that is given. Now, whenever you click on any tab, you will be pointed to a more detailed page corresponding to that. Moving on to the... I think I should do it a little faster. Then moving on to the forum, all the activities that is corresponding to one module is displayed here. Rohit will give a demonstration following this about all the facilities that are there with the forum. Then moving on to the work bin, we have all the resources that are associated with this module. If it is a PDF, it will be downloaded onto your mobile and you'll be able to view it. If it is a URL, it will be opened in the browser. And then in the more tabs, we have access to the gradebook so that you can view all your gradebook, the class rooster, all the marks that have been provided to you, the class rooster where all the students who are registered, if you click on any email, it will be redirected to your mail client where you can directly send a mail. Library e-reserve, we wanted to do the downloadable format for this too, but then since it is library e-reserves, we were because of copyright issues we were not allowed to implement the download facilities. In the timetable we have an interesting format where for every student it would show all the the timetable for all the modules that are for that module. It will be displayed. Also, we have two buttons showing the location and the reminder. This will be explained by Rohit during the demo.
Okay, now we are doing the demo with the presentation, so I think I'll explain right now. Basically, this screen shows you all the lectures or tutorials or labs specified for that specific module. So what the user can do is he can just click on the location and it will locate the specific location and you can zoom in and see exactly where the location is. So we have used the Google Maps. And then for the reminder, we have a smart way of setting the reminder. It's like through voice recognition. So I'll just show you one example. Remind me 15 minutes before the class. Sorry. Okay, it recognized as the bus. I'll just try it again. Remind me 15 minutes before the class. Okay. If I press yes, it will set the reminder. Later I'll show you. All the reminders we have stored in the database. So even you are, and what it does is it sets the reminder for the whole semester. So it's like we have set, let's say, for 20 minutes before. So for the whole semester, just before that event, every even week or odd week based on your week code, it will remind you that you have this lecture. So there is no need to check the timetable again and again on the website. And it sets for the whole, it's stored in the SQLite database. So even if you are offline, it will still remind you. And yeah.
Regarding the forum.
Okay.
Forum is where we have implemented the push facility wherein
basically what this forum does is it fetches, we can configure it based on whether you want the last 7 days or last 10 days or something like that, but right now it fetches everything. And then if we want, we have implemented post lappies. We can create new topic with the title and the body, and it will post it on the actual IVLE. And also if you go to the details, you can directly post it from here. And Google Keyboards also provides you voice recognition facility. You can directly speak and type as well. Okay. The next is IVLE news and events. I'll hand it over to Uday.
So basically, what it does is in IVLE, there is news always which is uploaded in the website. So we just present it like this in this format, and also there are some animations in this. So if you click on news tab, it will go to the next page showing the details of the news. This details of the news, and then similarly for student events also there are lots of events and some animations we have put again. And then if you click on it, it will give you all the details, title and everything else. So yeah.
We have tried to develop this in a format that is similar to the IVLE website.
Yeah. So that's it. It just fetches the news, and also we have this redirection thing. So you can, if it's an email, you can click it and it'll open your email client, and you can send an email there. And also the phone, you can call directly.
Okay, the next app we'll be demonstrating is NUS Career Center. Basically, what happens is generally, at least in my last semester, NUS Career Center, they used to send emails for companies coming on campus for next 2 months almost. So it's very hard to keep track of checking all the reminder emails and everything. So what we thought of, if they can just expose one specific service with the company name and the details and the probably of the time of that event, it will be very nice. It can right now we are using data feeders, so instead of that we can just consume that service and we can display it. So I'll just give a brief demo. So let's say we have these are the different walk-ins or career talks. So we can go to the detail, and in the similar fashion we can set the reminder that remind me before 15 minutes or 20 minutes before the event. So it all the reminders will be set, and you can just view. Once you get all the information, okay, these are the companies coming. If you are interested for few, you can just set a reminder so that you don't have to. And in the similar manner, you can Career Center can have a subscription or unsubscription of email, so that you will not get a lot of emails from Career Center. For generally we get for each and every company that tomorrow is this, tomorrow is that. Okay, the next app basically is sports facility booking. So what generally we do is, at least for badminton courts in NUS, if we have to book a badminton court, we have to book in advance, let's say in 2.5 weeks in advance, and then also generally we get some slot of, let's say, Wednesday 4 p.m. and there are possibilities sometime you might forget about it. What if you get everything on the way, and when you are coming back in the shuttle or in MRT anywhere, you can just book the court and you will be reminded later point of time. So you can select what are the facilities. Let's say I select for table tennis, and you can set that you want at this specific date, and then what time it is available or what specific court you want. So once you click on book, it will go to the success or failure page, and based on the success you can also set the reminder in the similar fashion. Remind me 15 minutes before the event. I'm sorry. So it as you see in the toast, it sets the reminder for that specific thing. And to check all the reminders, if we go to the menu, we can view the reminder. So you can see for that specific class all the reminders for the whole semester it's set, and also for table tennis what we had set was done. And the next app is basically it's a kind of it's similar to Facebook Wall. So it's for NUS Connect for NUS students. What we have used is XMPP protocol. It's a open source OpenFire server. So it's available it's running on my machine. So the server IP address is my machine, and what it does is, based on your login ID, it automatically creates a user there and logs in there. And what you can do is you can view the previous posts and you can create new posts, and it's very instant because it's using XMPP protocol. So it's not any kind of server pull or anything. So it saves the energy.
It's not like polling or something. Just pushing it.
So I say hello. I have one. Can you just move it?
We have an emulator that is running on this machine to show that it is a real-time update. So he just typed something through the phone. I'm not able to turn it completely, but then the post is
You can type it from here, so we can.
visible here. And then I will probably type something from here.
Basically, this is just for an idea. All the libraries are available. It's very easy to extend it to one-to-one chat or any kind of private chat or any kind of group chats. So it would be useful if you have a specific group of friends and all of you live on campus and you can just have text conversation together.
This is just an idea that we have developed where it can be extended to any, like a society where, or the clubs where they want to post immediate.
What the server we are using is an open source server. It's OpenFire, and you can create different type of groups or everything. So, and the next thing we have is NUS Navigator. So, oh, you want to tell? Okay.
Okay, the first one is like for the navigation from and to. My location is my current location. Where am I? And that is we are using the network provider to access it. This can be done by GPS also, but we are using the network provider now. So, okay, selecting COM2, yeah, and you say get directions. This data it goes to the Maps application, and then it shows the way where you can navigate, and also the different layers. You can set it as favorites and stuff like that. This is all provided by the maps.
And then the next one.
The next one is the Go There application. Here, what we are doing is I'm actually not using the map. I'm not calling. Yeah, I'm using satellite view here. And then what this is showing is it will just point you as to whichever location that you want to find on the map. It will just point you to that particular location. This is something that we have also used in our timetable API, where we are trying to find the classroom. Yeah.
So it's a generic application which can be extended to other use cases as well.
Yeah.
Even for the reminder also, we have a common alarm service class, and from the same place we are setting for everything.
So all this data about the locations is provided by the student info API.
Yeah. And the last one is a very small app for basically for all the emergency contacts. So you can just click on any number, or it will be dialed, and the similar redirected to the dialer, or if it is an email, it will be redirected to your compose mail, or if it is a website, to the browser. Yeah.
Okay. Moving on, we would just like to highlight a couple of features that we have made use of. We have made use of an SQLite database where whenever a reminder is created in a table, we are inserting all the information about the reminder. And in the menu, when we want to view the reminder, it is actually performing a query, obtaining that information and displaying it. A generic alarm service has been implemented to invoke the reminder. We have used simple animations to just show how animations could be extended to all the apps in the events and the news. We actually had developed the app using a white background, but then when we read through a couple of forums, we saw that in a OLED screen, it is better to use a black background so that the power consumption on the mobile device is not very high when we are running this API.
Yeah, so I heard about Blackle. It's a kind of Google search which is in full black, and they show that how much power they have saved until now.
Yeah.
So,
it is.
Just fitting that into mind. We just thought about it.
We've used the post methods for the forum, where we send a reply to any topic that is there in the forum, and also to create a new topic. And in the UI, I would like to highlight that whenever we go to any app, we have the sound, we have the animation. On the title bar, there is also on the title bar right here, we have a small logo of the app that we are using. So we paid a little bit of attention to the UI so that the look and feel of the entire app is usable and more user-friendly.
And yesterday night we actually exported the APK, which is like in production, so we can directly just install it and execute on it. Yeah. That's all from the presentation. So yeah, thank you.
Okay. Thank you for the presentation. Normally the first to go is the bad guy. It's my part, right?
You can always be the good guy.
Okay. First I have some questions to ask before I voice my opinion. Question number one being that when you are setting the reminder system, the usage of voice recognition is very cool, but do you have an option not to use it?
It can be configured. Right now it's not there, but actually earlier we had made it through the text only. Because if you put any text view in Android, automatically your keyboard comes. So you can have an optional thing.
Actually, when we had, just done a small survey showing our app to a couple of our friends, who are not in NUS, outside NUS, they gave us this feedback that since it is an Android phone, why don't you exploit the features that are already present in the phone?
Yeah,
Okay.
main feature is voice and maps.
Yeah, but definitely we can have, it can be extended easily to have a either voice-based recognition or just
Or,
typing-based.
Okay.
Generally, we
get
don't
the
like to
point.
type on the small.
Okay. Whenever there is a method of input, okay, you should always provide a alternative method.
I don't care.
Yeah, I don't want to be speaking to the phone over and over again. Remind me 15 minutes before the class comes, before the bus comes, or whatever. Okay. I will just go F you. Okay. So.
But our parser is intelligent enough not to recognize words, so he will pick up numbers.
Just keep that in mind that you should have an
sure.
alternative method of input. Okay. Then the second is that when you show the NUS Connect, I didn't really see how you add friends. So
Actually,
how is that done?
Right now, it's open to all NUS students, whoever logs into this application.
Okay.
The user will be created for them to the specific OpenFire. But we just wanted to show this idea. This can be extended to having different friends because we have a SMAC library. So that library provides you all the APIs to create a new group or add friends, everything. So this is just an idea. We can extend it to. It can be extended to any level.
Okay. So this is quite finished and refined. Yeah. Okay. So then we'll skip this section. Okay. The other thing that I want to highlight is the lack of integration to some of the features that you have put in place. For example, the calendar and career talks events that you have. There is no option to sign up. There is no option to add it into your calendar. Basically, it's just information display right now.
Yeah, we do have. If you
We
set
have
the
a
reminder,
reminder.
you can view those reminders later.
Yeah, it's like a sign up, right?
Or you
Yeah.
mean to log in to the career center?
Option to sign up, as in through email or through form, and then adding it to a calendar instead of like maybe a reminder.
Yeah, we don't have the, we have not implemented the usage of the calendar as such, but we have used the reminders.
Okay.
Actually, as such we don't have actual APIs from the career center. So these are coming from a specific class where we have kind of feeded some data. So in that specific class, instead of feeding that data, we can, if they can have, expose some service, we can just consume it and plug into it.
I think my point is instead of like adding to a reminder that you have proprietary in your system, it might be a good idea to integrate it with the native calendar as well.
Okay.
Yeah, so that they don't have to keep switching between the native calendar and your app just to find out what they have in stock for them for the day. Okay, so that's one. And for the UI, okay, it's not simple and neat to me at all. Okay, sorry, I'm being critical here because I run the design firm. Okay, for example, there is this inconsistency that I have noticed in your UI, particularly in the usage of your icon. Okay, if you are going to use a clip art style icon on your home menu, try to keep that as a consistency when you are using your tag menu icons as well. So far, it's like a clip art versus icon style.
Sorry?
Okay, what you meant was, whatever icons we have on the home page,
Yes.
we should have.
In terms of
similar
art style, yes, in terms of art style, there should be a certain way, certain method of consistency over there.
Even
these
if
icons.
Yes. Okay. So this is the first element. The second is that in terms of usability, okay, it confused me when you try to use text, buttons, menus, and pop-ups all together. Okay. For example, the forum. When you are posting something, you left a small tiny input field and a post button. right at the bottom of the screen. That's what I meant by button. For the for another, I think it's a chat or something, there's a pop-up dialog box that asks you to key in the subject and then the event, then post it. So I noticed that there's a very wide different usage of this. Okay, so as a user, I'm very confused. So what am I expecting? Should I go and press the button on the phone to bring up the menu, or can I just use this post button that I'm seeing right now, or am I expected to press and hold and wait for something so that the pop-up comes up? Okay, so that is something you got to improve on in the UI factor.
Actually, we had a slight disadvantage because of the four of us, we have only one Android user here, phone user here, and the other we are not. So
Actually, we are also first-time developers.
No worries. I have 5 minutes left for the 2
Why don't I go first?
Yes.
I'm very fast, don't worry. I think I'm the Simon Cowell in this whole entire judging. Personally, I think this application is very normal. It doesn't bring out anything exciting at all. I agree with him. He said that in terms of the UI and functionality, in terms of the interface itself, it's you mentioned that it's very like clean and easy to use and so on and so forth. I personally don't think it's easy to use. It's very confusing as a user in terms of you use too many UI elements, you use too many different things. It's very inconsistent and in terms of the text also, it's the way you represent text, in terms of fonts, in terms of size, in terms of color and stuff like that. It's not brought out in a user. I don't want to say user friendly, but it's not brought out nicely. So it's in that sense. In terms of originality, it's nothing original. It's very normal. It's a good app, right? But it's not a wow app. It's not something that I would be like, oh my god, this is amazing. It's just like it's okay. I mean, good work in terms of integrating all the IVLE functionalities into the app. But I think what you guys need to do is actually concentrate on a few things and make it good. What I really like is the what you guys have tried to integrate into, which is make full use of the functionalities of the Android platform itself, which is the voice recognition, the mapping, and other UI elements which you tried to integrate, but personally I think not very successful in the user experience part of it. But good effort. Ultimately, I think that there is a lot more work you can do with this application.
I have a question now.
Yes.
You said we lack originality, right? What do you mean by that? Because we have developed the sports booking, which was never in any mobile phone. It's not even an iPhone.
So you see, right? If you guys create a sports functionality, the sports booking and everything, what would be interesting is that your whole entire application is based on just the sports, right? Then, build features around it, basically make that the focus, the fundamental, instead of cluttering with all the different IVLE, stuff. So if you think that the sports booking is a great functionality, concentrate on that, make it the best thing ever, right? Rather than trying to add all this other additional stuff like students, workspaces, news, and blah blah blah. Just make the functionality of facility booking the best thing ever that any NUS student has ever used.
Because when the competition, you said that we have extra points for developing IVD and stuff, we had to develop it. And then you say that... Then you say all these are also you need to develop.
No,
What was concentrate
so
on?
there are okay. So just to clarify in terms of innovation, right, or originality and innovation and whatnot, right? We have come across in the past few applications previously, right, at actually making very interesting use of the information from IVLE and bringing it out as a functionality that I personally think would be interesting. And that is what I think would be more interesting, to actually make use of the information, the data from IVLE, and give it a purpose rather than just displaying information. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Can you give an example?
Is it fair to give the?
We have seen the other demos.
We have seen the
so we
demos
have seen the
already.
demos already. So it would be interesting to get your perspective too on that.
Okay, can I answer that?
You answer lah. You want? Or you have another brilliant idea?
Before this turns into a debate between Sanko and okay, let me put this into a different perspective. Okay, if you are going against a list of checklists on the functions to implement in your app, and you go check, you have scored full marks. Okay, but what we are looking for is something more than that. Essentially, what you are presenting in this app is a reproduction of the current IVLE website.
Actually, what we thought initially was that just making the IVLE app will not make it look better. So that's why we thought of some idea. Let's say if you have different classrooms for different things, if you just click on that and it goes to the map. So that are the features of setting that if it reminds you for the whole semester, you don't have to worry about your timetables. So these were the ideas we thought. We thought that these are not available on the web. So that's why we thought, okay, what are the things which are not available on the web but can be implemented on the phone? So that was the reason we implemented few of them. Yeah.
So also one of our.
So I won't agree with your argument saying that it's just a display for the workspace at least.
One of our other inspiration was that at this point in time in NUS, if you have to access anything that is other than IVLE, for something like career center, sports booking, they're all in different websites. What we wanted to create was one consolidated thing that a student can download, use, and that will be useful for him on a day-to-day basis for everything.
Correct. I think.
And like I agree with Michael. It's actually just going down a checklist of yes, we've implemented this. Yes, we've implemented this. Yes, we've implemented this, and so on and so forth. But I think what we're looking for is actually something that, making use of the data and the information and coming up with something interesting that instead of just going down a checklist.
Okay, think of it as how are you going to enhance rather than just present the information from different sources. So currently, from our way of seeing, it's just a method of adding reminders to the event, and that's it.
Can I say one final thing?
Yeah.
Do we have time? Can I say something?
Are you going to praise them?
No. No, I think what I just want to point out is that for me, honestly, I don't buy the idea that I have to click many times. So if I consolidate everything here, it's a great app. That doesn't what makes a great app. I think if you guys think a bit more, it's not why an application is great. Why is an application great? It's because it gives a simple idea, right, and allows the user to explore the idea to almost no limits. That's when the app becomes very powerful, right? Like for example, this to me can just be your web browser with bookmarks, and it's exactly the same thing. I open my bookmark list and I can click on every single link, right? So, and of course, you have other things like the reminders and stuff like that. Yes, very cool stuff, right? But the thing is that you're creating. That's what I think I mentioned before. It's like presenting a school project. right? And this is if I were to give my experience, right, is the flaw that I get when I try to hire interns and I try to hire people, right? When they approach a project, right, they tend to think of it as very what do I call it? It's very straightforward and it's like a checklist, like what he said, right? But what we want, especially when it comes to making apps, you know what the apps are. Okay, maybe only one of you have a smartphone, right? But if you did a bit more research, you did a bit more look into what are the most popular apps. They're not the apps that show you tons of information, or yeah, they have certain, but they are the ones that do the simplest things, right? But with great effectiveness, right? Like a simple to-do list, right? Why is Evernote so successful, right? Why is chatting, which is so simple, but why is let's say WhatsApp so successful, right? There's a lot of things. It's not just about creating an application that gives information, right? And the last point I'm going to make, right, where although he's already talked about the UI in an app is everything. Is everything, which is why a lot of the successful apps have very simple ideas, right? But they focus a lot on presentation because that's where it counts. When I have my phone, right, I want a visual experience, not an informative experience. That's what my phone is for, and that's what I think you need to understand when you talk about phone applications. Yeah, this is something that with a little bit of research, a little bit of experience, you will find out. Yeah, but honestly, if this is a IVLD package, like for example, they say I do a project. Okay, guys, I need to do a school project, do up an application on IVLE and reproduce what's in IVLE. This will be a great project. Honestly, this is a great project. But unfortunately, this is an app competition, and things that makes app successful matters in this competition. So this is where we're going to judge you by. So I hope you guys understand where we are coming from and where our comments are from, right? But otherwise, great work on the apps. Thank you.